So it was bound to happen eventually. In fact, I'm quite surprised that it hadn't happened up until now. So it's funny how life gets in the way, right? I haven't made it on time today. I've been going almost 5 weeks, 6:15 every single day, hitting the minute. And yeah, it's happened. That life just got in the way, timetables got kind of moved around, and I didn't make it. Now, I can't say that I'm not really annoyed with myself, because there's that feeling of being annoyed. And I can't say that I'm very angry either, because I've learned over time to realize that one needs to be flexible in their psychology, flexible in their behavior, right? So I've learned that I need to be flexible in my psychology, and I want to be flexible in my behavior, my response to what happens in my context. And my context for today is that things happened and I had to make a choice, right? It was a choice thing. Do I do this anyway? And then other things would be paid a price, sacrifice on that side. Or do I sacrifice this for the other things that I needed to do at the same time? And so obviously I chose the other thing. Both of them were values for me. Both of them were very important to me, what mattered to me. And here we have a situation where two values conflict from the point of view of time. And so I had to make a choice. And the important thing in this exercise is to demonstrate that the choice was a deliberate choice made from a freedom of choice. And because it was a freedom of choice and I wasn't enslaved by one or the other, then that makes a massive difference. Okay, because it's not automatic behavior and then I get all upset that I missed the slot. No, it was a situation where I had to make at one point a decision, and I had to make a choice. Do I do this on sacrifice of that, or that and sacrifice of this? It doesn't completely take away those feelings of disappointment and upset and my thoughts in my head saying, well, maybe you should have organized it better, and so on and so forth. But when you add to that some self-compassion, meaning I understand there is pain and I'm going to do something about that pain in order to comfort myself that the pain is real, but I also made a choice. And the way that I do that is, one, exactly what I'm doing now, is to go over the situation, the context that I was in, and realize that I made a choice. That's the first thing. Second thing is that I want to give myself some self-compassion, so I sit down and I just hold myself for a bit and say, you know what, Dov, this isn't very pleasant, but at the end of the day, the choice was made, and I could have given this up altogether. In other words, I could have just said, right, the day's finished and I'll carry on again tomorrow. And that's what I might have done in the past. But I've decided, you know what, even if it's late, I'm still going to go and do it. In fact, not only am I going to do it, but as you can see, it's actually given me content for this day's podcast. So nothing wrong with that. So there's always an upside, right? And also what I do, because this is what I do before I actually go into what might be an anxious event, and what I do when I come out of it, and what I try to do daily anyway, is my breathing exercises. So I breathe in through my nose using my tummy, sticking my tummy out as I breathe in, pulling my tummy back into my abdomen as I breathe out, breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth. So I breathe in for the count of 3 through my nose. I hold it for about 2 seconds in my lungs, and out through the mouth for 5. And I do this 4 times, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, hold, 1, 2, breathing out through the mouth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do 2 more, breathing in, hold, and slowly out with pursed lips. One more time, pushing the tummy out as I breathe in, hold it, and pursed lips, let go. That breathing activates the polyvagal nerve. It puts me into a situation of regulation, social engagement. I feel that I can communicate better. I feel that my fight and flight has basically been, not activated. And I go on to the next thing. So I hope that has been useful for you. It's certainly been useful for me. See you tomorrow. There you go.
Dov Benyaacov-Kurtzman has embarked on a 12-week daily live challenge to disseminate a mixture of knowledge, combining his hand-picked golden nuggets from his personal library together with his decades of experience and learning. He is doing this as a committed action to service his values of contributing and helping others, using himself as the subject of this exercise. Despite his feelings of awkwardness, anxiousness, and shame, which usually forms a barrier of uncomfortableness within, holding him back from accomplishing his goals. Dov Benyaacov-Kurtzman is an accomplished psychotherapist and clinical social worker with many years of learning and experience. And yet his self-disclosure of his vulnerability and openness is to demonstrate the human condition that we all experience from time to time. Disclaimer: the contents of this podcast, such as text, graphics, images, and other material contained on the podcast, are for informational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your mental health professional or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding your condition. Never disregard professional advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard on this podcast.